Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm doing a quick comparison of the GepRC Elegant Bind and Fly versus the GepRC Mark II Bind and Fly versus a couple other top performers such as the Holy Bro Copus, not a bad quad, and a crowd favorite, the Emox Hawk 5. So basically, how do these two quads stack up to these other two top performers that are known in the industry? In short, I like them. I like them both. I took a break from FPV for about 6 months or so. My family and I made a move and stuff, and we ended up just now moving back to California, so I'm getting back into it. And I was like, man, I really want to get into freestyle. I'm just tired of having quads that are just kind of multi-purpose. Really wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and still kind of learning, the piloting stuff and just getting familiar with acro and all the stuff that comes along with it. So I decided, I'm going to make the plunge and just start looking around, see what I can find, and I started looking at these quads. I saw a lot of reviews on the Elegant. I kind of like the style of it. It's got a pretty good overall design. I really like the fact that it has this nice camera protection. The GoPro solution for mounting is super easy. I mean, you see I got 3 tie straps here. I put a little bit of padding. I actually stole some of this. It comes with extra when you buy the BNF kit. And I took one of those, kind of cut it down, put that along each one of these sides, and that helps take it from like 38 degrees to, get to closer to 30, which is what I'm more comfortable with. I really like the flame. I like the heaviness of it. I was looking for a quad that was actually a legitimate freestyle quad, something that had some bulk and beef to it. I saw it have the 2306 motors, and I'm like, with my eyes and stuff, having some vision problems, it's really difficult for me to build. I'm like, this kind of fits my needs. And the look at first, it took me a little bit to get over this orange stuff, and I was like, man, orange is just not my thing. What's up with that? Why did they do an orange TPU? But I'll tell you guys, after having it in person and putting the little soft, the little bumper things that help dampen the little bit to the gyro, I guess it's supposed to help in theory. But after having it up here and getting a little matching GoPro mount for it, picked this up off eBay for like 12 bucks. I don't know. It's a little pricey, but it's definitely legit. I mean, your GoPro's not going anywhere. Anyway, so what I'm getting at is the orange with the green, because you got the little wannabe pagoda coming out here. It's a wannabe pagoda too. It works okay. But it's grown on me. I like it a lot. So I ended up getting this, and I also pulled the plunge, and one day afterwards, I decided to go ahead, because I couldn't decide. I was just watching video after video between the Mark II and everyone really liking its frame and stuff, and then I was looking at the Elegant, and I'm just like, man, I really like how the props are up there, so you get that center of gravity, right? The motors are right in line with the camera, with the top mount battery. Man, I bet it's just got some cool flying characteristics. So I was really up in arms. I couldn't decide. I know the 2207s are a little better for freestyle. You get a little more mid to higher end throttle response, whereas you got a little bit more on the 2306 on the lower end, a little bottom end girth. Personally, I can't tell the difference too much between them, but I'll get into that. So I couldn't decide, and I hadn't spent any money on FPV for like 6 months. So I'm like, screw it, We got a little bit of money that came in. I'm going to get both. I'm going to splurge. I'm going to buy both of them. So I did. And I ordered the Mark II first. I should take that back when I said I got that one. I ordered this one first off Amazon, and it showed up to me already used. Someone had stolen the antenna. I went to power it up. I got like 2 of the Betaflight, 2 of the ESC beeps. Doo-doo! And that's as far as it went. Sent that back to Amazon. I ordered both these from GepRC. Highly recommend you order directly from GepRC. Expedited shipping. I got each one of these within like 3 to 4 days. Perfect condition, no issues. Perfect condition other than one little thing I'll talk about in the Mark II. So I got the Elegant actually before the Mark II, but anyways, basically I've had them about the same amount of time. And the thing that's kind of really drew me to the Mark II also was that it seemed to have gotten better reviews. If you look at like Gal Krimmer, Dutch RC, Andy RC, Drone Camps RC, Justin Davis, they all kind of just were leaning on this one a little bit. And I don't know if it's because it's a little bit newer. You know, they came out with this one a few months later. I know the frame design's been out for quite a while. You know, the Elegant is to spin off from one, like the Rotor Riot one. I think it's a remix frame. Not too sure. Someone correct me in the comments. But in the Mark II, I mean, there's a lot of discussions about, you know, this frame, and it's definitely not a clone. If you look around, you'll see that this is their own design and stuff. But so I kind of wanted to get the best of both worlds. You know, a classic X frame here. It's got some nice girth, and there's a lot of good points to this that I'll go over real quick. Whereas this one's very unique. I don't have any other quads that look like this. I mean, this looks like a Ford truck or something, you know, just mobbing down the street. It's got just a really cool look to it, which I like a lot. So, but onto the Mark II. So the Mark II, I wasn't impressed with it out of the box as I was the Elegant. I mean, the Elegant, when you take it out, you kind of look at it, you're like, wow, this is just a really polished machine. Whereas the Mark II, if you look closely, and I'll try to get in here in a little bit, you know, you've got your typical build. We've got just all your wires for the LEDs and stuff coming here. And that leads me to the point I was making earlier. My LED came DOA on arrival. It's just the ground is actually disconnected. I don't think they ever soldered it up. Whenever I get around to taking the top plate off and I remove all these standoffs, I'll get to it and solder it up. But for now, the LED does not work on the Mark II. It's the only gripe. It came that way out of the box. They probably just missed the soldering. No big deal. It's just two little LED lights on this one too. Sorry about the camera shake there. But the Mark II, the things that I really like about it is you've just got this really, really open design all the way through that lets you get, I mean, I could fit probably 4 battery straps through there and not even think twice about it. The other thing that's pretty cool about it as well is that you've got plenty of room to mount the GoPro up front, and it even comes with like multiple different mounting solutions. So it comes with an extra side plate piece that goes up here, and your camera would sit on top. I've tried out every way imaginable. I had to go kind of rinky-dink because there's 3 little slits in here, but the full-size camera actually takes up too much of the room to get 2 out of the 3 zip ties through there and still being able to get some up tilt on the camera. If you want to run all the zip ties through there, you get no up tilt. The camera just bumps up on them. So I had to go ghetto, and I ran 1 all the way around the front to the bottom because I was getting some back and forth going on if I didn't have that one there. And then I have 1 going through the spots that ideally you'd want to go through, which is right through those 3 little slots that they put in the side. And then I have another one that's going right back behind the post here. And again, I have a little bit of foam to decrease my up tilt. I'm actually reducing the angle a little bit. This is a 30-degree mount. So this puts it down at about like 25, 26 degrees, something like that, which I think is pretty ideal. So out of the box, they're pretty much the same. I mean, you get different motors. You've got 2207s, 2400 kV on the Mark II. You have 2306, 2450 kV on the Elegant. And the only other difference really is you get some different, you get the different mounting for the antennas. So these just come out of the box loose out here. You got to put your own little tubes in here. Not your own. They come with it. I shouldn't say that. They actually include extras as well. And it's nice. They fit in there really snug. No issues at all. The Elegant out of the box came just like this. I put a little hot glue in each one of these. But I don't know. It's really nice. I will say I've taken both these out quite a ways. No issues. I run the RSSI on a switch because I couldn't get it to show up in the OSD to where it just calls out every 5 seconds for me when I flip it on. And it's never even got low on either one of them. So no issues there. The receiver's nice. It's an RSSXR. There's videos saying that people weren't able to get telemetry, that the telemetry wire wasn't enabled. I have not had that issue. I've been getting full telemetry back. I use a Tyrannus. I use a Horus X10S that has all the different property pages for looking at that, and it shows everything for the telemetry in the telemetry window. So maybe I just got lucky. Maybe they recently have upped their quality control or looked at some of the reviews out there and decided, well, we better not make a fool of ourselves. We better get that added. So I haven't stripped these apart to look at the wiring. I actually have some eye issues I'm going through right now that makes it really difficult for me to see such fine print, but I'll get that worked out. So I'm not really too sure, but let me go over the pros and cons of each one of these real quick, because I know I'm rambling on. So the pros of the Mark II, one of the best 4S PID tunes I've seen out of the box. This thing is like tuned perfect for 4S. You put a 4S 1300, 1500 on here. I run tattoo R lines. Dude, you just go out there and rip this thing all day long. I mean, it flies flipping great. Killer. I mean, just get rid of the stock props. I put some Dow Cyclone 5046 on here. A little more aggressive, but a lot more efficient. The stock props suck on both these birds. You only get 2.5, 3 minutes of flight time, and they're loud as all get up. So I put some Dows on here. This bird flies great. I mean, if you're looking for a 4S freestyle bird that has no issues, I mean, the thing just goes, has real easy management of everything. Your battery easily mounts wherever you want. There's no wiring issues. It's a clean build. You have a lot of options for your GoPro. You just name it. Everything's just solid on it. It's a great performer. Now, when you throw a 5S pack, that's where things get a little bit different. In my opinion, the Mark S flies like absolute garbage on 5S out of the box. The PIDs are definitely set up just for 4S. There's too much P, too much D. I've had to lower both those down. I even took the I down by like 1 or 2, just a little bit. 5S, it does not fly well. You get a lot of high throttle oscillations. I get a little bit of weird bounce back coming out of some hard turns, trying to center back out. It'll want to level itself a little bit. It's trying to overwork on the PID loop on a 5S on this. So I just created another profile, tuned them down a bit, put them on a switch. So I got a 4S and 5S switch for this one. And it flies pretty good. I'm not good at tuning, still kind of learning that. But it sure flies a heck of a lot better in 5S now than when I first got it, that's for sure. So my only real gripes with this are that, and so if you're not too great at PID tuning or new to it like I am, that might be a concern for you if you're wanting to run 5S. Something you're gonna have to think about. It flies, but it doesn't sound great. I'll try to put some YouTube videos. I'll put the stock PIDs back on 5S. I'll post something as soon as the weather starts getting a little bit better. But it's not great. And the fact that the LED just had the cable disconnected, I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. I don't recall it ever lighting up when I first powered it up. That's my big gripe there. Other than that, I mean, the VTX works great. There's been some videos that talk about a little bit of rainbow effect and video noise getting into the feed. I can assure you on the Mark II, I don't notice anything, period. And that's comparing it to like the Hawk 5, which I flew for months. That's comparing it to the Holy Bro Copus. That's comparing it to some of my micros too. Even just anything. I have a lot of drones to compare it to, like even this little guy. I mean, the ET100, a great little guy. There is no rainbow effect, not on mine. I haven't had that issue. No problems. It's just a solid build. I highly recommend it. It's a great flyer. I cannot attest to the durability. I haven't really crashed this one hard yet. The Elegant I have. But so far, it's good. It comes with an extra arm. You get everything you need. Get a few extra this and that. One other little tiny gripe is that it does not include a silicone battery mat. It includes a foam one, which is absolutely ridiculous. So my family and I, we just moved, so I'm looking for all my stuff. As soon as I can find I got some silicone strips. You just cut to length. As soon as I can find them, I'm replacing that with the quickness. I mean, that's just a joke. I didn't even know why they would do that. But, it comes with everything else, little bumper things. It's just a nice build. It's a quality build. A lot of guys fly this. You're not going to stand out or anything flying this. This is just, regular looking frame design. That flies great. It's a solid performer. Throw on your rates and you're good to go. Again, just keep in mind the 5S tune. So that's everything about the Mark II. Let's go over, and I will say this GoPro, for me to come up with this final solution, it took me a while. I was trying to work with the stuff that they included. I was trying to go through the camera thing and try to work around that and just come up with different things. So I wouldn't consider this the most elegant mounting solution, but since it's wide open, you've got all these options. Let's move on to the Elegant. So the Elegant has been taken out. I've been flying this more than the Mark II. and that is because it has a great 5S tune. So the Elegant out of the box, I would say the 4S tune is great, but it's not knock your socks off great like on the Mark II. It's still great. It's good enough to where you don't probably want to touch it unless you're really skilled at like PID tuning and you have a great understanding of Betaflight and stuff. If you do, more power to you. But the 4S, it flies great. Not just good, it flies great. No issues. Enough to where this is kind of my everyday flyer. On 5S, again, this flies great. No adjustments to the PIDs. Nothing. You don't need a separate profile. All the more reason to leave the PIDs alone on the Elegant. I was really impressed that it's actually able to go between 4-cell voltage and 5-cell voltage without any adjustment. You're dealing with the same kV motors and all that. It's working both different cell voltages. I'm just so impressed that it's actually able to handle both of them without issue. It flies absolutely great. More things about the Elegant. So I really, really dig the GoPro mounting solution. It is by default a little bit of a high angle. They come in at 38 degrees, and I'm sure that's to try to keep the props out of view. And I just did the little phone thing like I talked about. But man, you can mount this up any mount you want within, you're done in like 2 minutes. Snipping the wires, checking everything out, pulling it tight, you're done. It's on there, jello-free. I've got videos up flying with this quite a bit. No issues. It just works great. This one comes with a silicone mat. Interesting, huh? So one comes with the silicone, very nice. It's actually cut out and notched to match the frame design, which is a nice touch, really gives it a polished look. Everything comes mounted up like you see it as well, the battery straps being there, and that takes me to a gripe. So on the Elegant, you don't have that wide open room design. You've got a little bit of a separation between the arms where they come in here, between the top plate and where it mounts with the standoffs, and then you have a little bit of room back here. And actually, the room in the back, you can get a full-size strap, but if you notice closely, I'm just using the ones that came with it, which are a little bit thinner. So they're not as wide this way. That's going to be a beef with some of you. Some of you are going to be a little irked that, it's not letting a full-size strap through there. And I tried getting one through this middle section. You can do it. It will get super, super tight. And it does look like it would just eventually fray up your strap. But it's doable. And it is kind of nice that it will